in week 6. Somehow, someway, the Patriots were able to keep pace with him. How were they able to do it the first time around?
Well, I went back and watched most of the game last night, and when you look at the 2 first-half interceptions by Mahomes, the first interception, it wasn't a function of him being a young quarterback. I think a lot of guys would have got fooled by what happened. The linebacker kind of sloops out late and picks the ball off. It was a shallow crossing route. The throw, it was actually a beautiful throw, and that set up a Patriots touchdown. Now, to me, it's the second interception.
It was a killer.
It's a killer, and this, to me, is what he's got to control, because as exciting as he is with the plays that he makes with his feet, these are the plays he can't make. He can't run around and then try to force the ball into double coverage in the red zone, because it's at least 3 points and maybe 7 points. That, to me, is what will be the difference in the game, is his decision-making in those situations, Mahomes' decision-making there.
And so that was, just to give the full context, the Chiefs had gone field goal, field goal, field goal in the first half. They had left scoring opportunities on the board. They're down 24-9. They have an opportunity right before the half to cut into it. He does not have to take that chance. They have a timeout, and there's, I think, about 14 seconds on the clock. And he throws.
And they're getting the ball out for the second half.
Absolutely. There's, for every reason, it's not to make that mistake, at least get another field goal. And he makes what I've considered the second worst decision he made all year. The only thing that was worse than that was the interception. Similar situation where they're down 3, right inside the 2-minute warning against the Rams at midfield with plenty of time, and he went for it all instead of, he could have run for a first down, a lot of things he could have done, and that essentially ended the game. I don't think this has been a huge trend all year, but in 2 of their biggest games against 2 of their toughest opponents, he has made that type of forcing it into coverage when you don't have to play. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, and the other thing that happened that first half, he missed a wide open Kareem Hunt
on the
coming out of
first
the backfield.
Yeah, on the circle out of the backfield.
And then he missed a wide open Travis Kelce. Now, he was under pressure at that point. That New England had brought some heat, but I don't anticipate him missing very many of those throws. And the plays that he can make with his feet do create a real problem for New England. And when you look at some of the big plays that New England gave up the second half, they had some real issues in coverage, and part of that was the extended plays. Tom's right. They're going to have to play absolutely their best football to beat Kansas City, because Kansas City's defense is playing better than it has been, and it's going to be interesting. You know, there was a lot of man-to-man in the first game. It's going to be interesting to see how Bob Sutton changes up moving into this game.
So the last time these 2 teams played, they had 2 ties, 4 lead changes. They were very evenly matched. This is a different Patriots team. They don't look the same. I mean, they're missing key components, and players aren't playing the same. How different is the Patriots?
Well, I don't think the Patriots are going to attack too much different. And in this first meeting, week number 6, Nick and I watched the game differently, but we watched the game because we knew Coach Mangini was going to come in here, and we were like, we're sick of him saying watch the game.
Right, so when Chris says we watched the game, he means in the last 24 hours, not when it happened in week 6.
I was going to say, I watched the game too.
Because you really want to see what are the differences in the team. And I just believe it's going to be impossible for New England to do what they did. Their defense in the red zone was remarkable. And Patty Mahomes did miss a couple early, but their defense was remarkable. So to answer the first question, that's how they're able to keep up with other offenses. This is how Belichick has done it through the years. Look at all the historic offenses that he's faced, and he's faced a bunch of them. Going back to the Colts, going back to the Rams, the greatest show on turf.
Even I'm sorry, go ahead. Even the Super Bowl against the Falcons. That was the 8th highest scoring offense in NFL history. But so
all of these things, what do? They do it by, they're going to have good red zone defense. Now, you might be able to make some big plays going up and down the field, but that's the thing that's been a constant. That's how they're able to keep pace. The other way that they're able to keep pace with these prolific teams is they believe in, and Coach Mangini said it in the break, was there's a day in the NFL where you can put hands on a guy. Now they still believe in that, but in a variety of different ways. Watch Dante Hightower. Watch the other linebackers, the other defensive ends. Watch what they do to Travis Kelce. Now they are terrified of Tyreek Hill, and when he's in the slot or in these bunch formations, they have some problems as far as coverages. But what they've done is, especially to the tight end, they're going to be physical with him coming off the line of scrimmage. That's one way that Bill Belichick has done it through the years, and that's what they've done in in the previous meetings with the Chiefs with Travis Kelce.
I meant on offense also, including on defense, where Gronk is not playing the way we thought he would. Josh Gordon is not even on the team anymore. It's a different looking offense. So to keep pace with a very high-octane offense like this Chiefs one, I would imagine they got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, well, Justin Houston is back as well. Chris Jones is playing very well. He's a different player than I think people anticipated him being in terms
definitely
of the
a different player than was in that first meeting too. I think that was the game that he started this tremendous streak of having a sack in every game.
Yeah, and you look, they're gonna butch Kelce at the line. They're gonna hit him. They're gonna put two guys on him. I mean, we did it with Tony Gonzalez. You're gonna keep trying to disrupt his routes. The difficult thing for New England is it's a week instead of 2 weeks. It's on the road. There's going to be a bunch of noise. In this offense, there's shifts, there's motions, there's multiple personnel groups, there's gadget formations. They pressure the whole field, and New England is a rule-based defense. And what I mean by that is they're going to have double teams. They're going to have things that take away the best players, formatted on rules. Now, when you shift and motion and put variables in place, there's a chance to have those rules exposed. And I think Kansas City does a really good job naturally with their offense in doing that.
And the one name we haven't mentioned during this is Andy Reid. And Andy Reid, for one reason or another, you and I talked about this after the show yesterday, has had enormous success, even when Alex Smith was his quarterback, of putting up huge points on Belichick's Pats. Belichick's coached 342 games with the Pats. He's allowed 40 points 7 times. That's insane in and of itself. But 3 of those 7 have been against Andy Reid's Chiefs in the last 5 years. Like they once was this year, a couple times with Alex Smith, once in Gillette, once in Arrowhead. And so schematically, Andy Reid doesn't have the issues that a lot of coaches seem to have with dealing with Belichick's defense. And the Chiefs are the healthiest on offense they have been all year long. They will miss Kareem Hunt in the receiving game, but Damian Williams has been a more than legitimate running threat for them. Sammy Watkins is now your 3rd option, and nobody has solved the Tyreek Hill problem all year long. Now, it's going to be 0 degrees, and I'm curious about that.
And there's going to be a ton of snow, I heard, right?
Well, I don't think they're expecting, they said an Arctic blast, at least, but I thought they expected frigid temperatures, but not the snow they had last week, but maybe the forecast changed the last 12 hours.
Yeah, I mean, there's Andy Reid's Eagles in the Super Bowl. I don't know if those are historic numbers that they put up.
No, I'm not saying every time, Coach. Hold on. Coach, you can't, hold on. Wait. Hold on a second, though. Wait, if we take out the games Belichick's coached against Andy Reid's Chiefs, he's allowed 40 points 4 times in his career in 338 games. And then in 4 games coached against Andy Reid's Chiefs, he's allowed it 3 more times. There is a trend there. It's about 1% against everybody else and 75% against this coach and this team. So it is a little different.
No, it is. And look, what makes it hard is the volume. And it's the same thing that New Orleans does really well, is they create volume of adjustments for the defenses. And when you're based on being disciplined and sound and everybody communicating, and suddenly it's Kelce's outside, Kelce's inside, Tyreek Hill's in the backfield, guys are shifting and motioning, you've got to make those communications a lot more quickly, and it's hard. It puts a ton of stress on the defense.
I was wrong. So it's going to be 25? 25
an
and
Arctic
snowing
blast
on Saturday, but you're right, 11 degrees.
Yes. Games on Sunday.
They
should be able to clear it.
Jenna, the meteorologist.
I am not the meteorologist, and I'm barely the
And now back to the weather in your area.
Boy, Al. Coach, we'll see you later on. Coming up, which NFL team might be gearing up to deal with and for Antonio Brown next on First Things First?
Coach, you're hanging around.
I looked it up.
Blizzard expected, where you